Again, in this final hour of trade, we are seeing a considerable increase in the sell-off going on right now. And as stocks drop, look at Wall Street's fear gauge. It is surging 8.6% at the moment, still below 30, which we've seen a couple of times this year. But either way, at 26, the VIX is up 50% this year, showing anxiety and certainly a lot of volatility and fear gripping investors. The crypto world's been struggling alongside stocks as well. Ethereum today, though, is getting closer to a software upgrade as the cryptocurrency had its first dress rehearsal yesterday. The crypto world is watching with bated breath to see how the long-awaited transformation plays out. But the entire space of the main crypto names here on your screen, everybody is losing at the moment, although, well, XRP is flat at 40 cents. But you can see we've got Bitcoin down about 0.75% to 30,062. Of course, they're all watching this in Austin, Texas. This is the four-day Consensus 2022 conference, which kicks off at the Austin Convention Center. It's a who's who of the crypto world there to discuss all the major issues from new crypto legislation to the crypto winter. Joining us now, opposite of winter, 100-degree temperatures in Austin, Texas. Live from there is the Chamber of Digital Commerce founder and president, Perianne Boring. 100 degrees?
Yeah, it's hot. Hey, Liz, good to be here.
Good to see you, too. Okay, give us the big headline from the conference.
Yeah, so as you know, Senators Lummis and Senators Gillibrand introduced the Responsible Financial Innovation Act this Tuesday. This was a bipartisan effort,
right,
and it is the most substantial effort that we've seen to date to provide a comprehensive regulatory framework for digital assets. This really has the potential to integrate digital assets into our global financial system. We have a problem in our regulatory system today. It's really fragmented, and that's part of what makes the U.S. markets different than a lot of other jurisdictions. We have the SEC, the CFTC, Treasury, IRS, FinCEN, the list goes on and on of regulators that have jurisdiction in this space. And so businesses that are trying to invest and get to market, they have so much to navigate in this regulatory patchwork. So this would bring a lot of consistency to that process. Mm-hmm. So in my opinion, you know, you just went through the economic numbers. We really are in a dire economic situation globally. We need to come up with new ways to grow our economy. We have this nascent space of blockchain technology. Mark Andreessen has said this is the most important technology since the internet itself. It's just as important as the internet itself. And if we are able to create a regulatory framework for businesses to build in this space, we could see an economic boom in this country we haven't seen since the commercialization of the internet.
You know, I ran into a friend of mine who used to be in high finance, and now I said, what are you doing these days? And he said, I'm creating a crypto platform. This guy's not 25. And, you know, he's all in. And I said, well, what do you make of Senators Lummis and Senator Gillibrand's new legislation? He said, bring it on. I love all regulation. Please just let us know what the rules of the road are. Now, they are both supposed to speak there tomorrow. They seem to have done quite a bit of homework. They talked to industry participants, not just other regulators and lawmakers who are, well, crypto bad, you know, but there are some questions because, of course, Gary Gensler yesterday at the SEC, when he was giving his speech at a conference, said in essence that he feels some cryptos are operating outside the law. That could go for anything. I mean, that could go for certain CEOs and managers who are doing nefarious things. But where do you see this all landing? Because the two senators, feel that the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission, should be the chief regulator of crypto.
Yeah, I mean, that is the conversation that's currently underway. I testified in the Senate Ag Committee earlier this year where Chairman Benham, the chair of the CFTC, was really making the case to make the CFTC the lead regulator and asking Congress to extend their oversight into the spot markets of digital assets. So there's really two regulatory paths that are happening today. You have this bill, which is the most substantial effort we've seen to date. And then there's the executive order. President Biden signed an EO into law just earlier this year, which is the starting gun for another regulatory process for the oversight of digital assets. I think it's likely this is going to go into the next Congress to see, you know, are those two efforts, are these going to come together? Are they going to work in parallel? Will they, will it be something else? It's not totally clear. I think we're still a couple years away before we see anything comprehensive make its way into law. But again, you have this patchwork, and the SEC is a major stakeholder in that conversation. But ultimately, I think it's going to take Congress to act to pass a law, and it's their decision who the lead regulator is going to be.
And let me just dovetail to the crypto winter, which, of course, the Winklevoss brothers have said is here. And they at Gemini have started laying off a bunch of employees. You guys have been through a couple of these, have you not? When do you foresee Bitcoin and some of these other names finding their footing once again and making their way back up?
Yeah, I mean, we've had lots of ups and downs in the crypto space. This is a very young and nascent industry. You're going to have ups and downs. But look, all the markets are down. I mean, you went through your different stocks that you're going through earlier. The stock market's down. The bond markets are down. I think a lot of this can be attributed to the larger economic backdrop. And a lot of it is in response to the Fed's aggressive tightening. When we look at cryptocurrency, we really encourage people to look beyond just the price. That's one indicator, but there's many other things you can look at to measure the health of this industry and of the network. So let's just take Bitcoin, since you mentioned it, which has the largest market cap out of all cryptocurrencies.
Correct.
We'll take that one for an example. The price is down, but the fundamentals of this network, they're as strong as ever. The Bitcoin hash rate, the number of Bitcoin wallets, the transactional value of the network, they're all at all-time highs. In addition, all the valuation models for Bitcoin have it priced between 69 and 180K today. So in summary, you've got a strong network, but the price is undervalued. So, I think this downturn is a lot more about what's going on in the larger economy, and eventually it'll reach parity with the value of these networks.
Well, I think the word you used at the beginning, nascent. This is in its nascent stages, just as the internet was. And of course, we've got to watch it bear out to see if it will be as sustainable and long-term as the internet clearly is. Perianne, good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks so much, Liz.
Perianne Boring.